everybody, another geopolitical analysis video as we enter into a much more Orwellian world with surveillance increasing in Europe, scrutiny, demonization of anything standing in the establishment's way. We're finding more and more that the world is becoming topsy-turvy. We have the Epstein files. Of course, that's not a surprise as it's been out in the open for about a decade now. And I think it's very interesting, the timing. But let's take a look at what happened today in the markets. So, I want to take your attention to the 30-year yield over here. This trend line that we've been touching since October is very interesting because there's a potentiality. I know I told you this is a golden ratio. We've been stuck on this golden ratio for 2 months, and I told you that we either break out or break down. Now, we haven't decided yet, but I think that this huge red candle is signaling the beginning of the end of the increasing rates that we've seen last little while, and I think we can head much lower. If we break down this trend line, guys, we're heading much lower. There's no doubt about that. Economic data is showing that there's no increase in jobs, and if anything, there are consistent layoffs. Bitcoin today. Bitcoin had a huge tumble. This was insane. I really enjoyed it as I was buying from 70,000 below. I got a decent chunk, and I'm very happy with that because it was about time after this bear flag consolidation. It was about time we're going to break down. Although I thought initially we would still see higher highs when the drop first happened, but as time was passing by, this bear flag was playing out. Look at the markets. Look at the S&P here. This is not good. This is not good. 3 days in a row. We might see a bounce up to here and then a follow through in order to continue the correction. Nasdaq heavy. Russell is actually holding on here pretty well. I like this. And despite the strength of the dollar after the massive drop, it's gained about 50% of that drop. We're noticing also other currencies are having a bit of a tumble. And this is especially the Swiss franc has to do with a drop or of gold. If gold drops this much in silver, which dropped at least 20%, then imagine what Bitcoin went through. Bitcoin went, what? Is this down 30%? Yeah. 38%, 40% almost. And in the span of a month. Incredible. But our trades here have done very well. Look at Conagra. Beautiful breakout of the trend line that I was putting here for the last month or so. BP, great. A bit of a reversal. We might see further downside tomorrow and later on a higher push. US oil, although it came down, I wouldn't be surprised if it came down a little bit more until a higher high. But that was very impressive today. The markets really rattled the investors, and this seems to be a potential breakdown. We have to see because we've been calling potential correction for some time now, but any time it corrects, barely 10%, 5%, it jumps much higher. So we have to wait and see. Although after 3 days, it's very typical after 3 strong selling days to have a counter trend bounce and then further sell off ensue. We have to see. But TLT is looking very good. TLT. This is 1-2% increase. If you're playing options and you're patient, playing the long term, consolidating, DCAing, I think this is a good place to be because this is still a very good trade. I think it's the cheapest trade, and I think it has the lowest risk in terms of the potential playing out. This could be beautiful inverse head and shoulders in order to aim to the higher 90s. Let's see. Let's see how this plays out in the next month. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you enjoy this video. A very interesting phenomena, the markets, and I think also geopolitical events are shaping up and causing a little bit of volatility. I told you a month ago the VIX was a good play to just pile some cash there because this was an easy 20%. Alrighty. Subscribe, like, and comment. Want to hear your voice. Bye for now. Thank you.